flour tortillas. Let's answer some of these questions that you guys have about the baking powder. Is it needed? Is it not needed? What does it do? You forgot the baking powder. I want to make half a recipe with baking powder and half a recipe without baking powder. And I say half a recipe because I already have recipes posted for both, with baking powder and without. So I'm going to show you guys the difference in real time, what it looks like. Adding baking powder and not adding baking powder. So this recipe right here is my butter flour tortilla recipe, which I am adding baking powder to it. I'm adding just, for 4 cups of flour, I'm adding just half a teaspoon. I am going to add half a cup of butter. This recipe is already posted. Like I said, my goal here is to show you guys the difference of the tortilla, what it looks like, what the baking powder does, and answer some of those questions that you guys send me and ask me about the tortillas when I post my recipes. As you guys may know, I do have a lot of different recipes for tortillas, not only flour, also corn. I grew up in Tijuana. I'm from Tijuana, and I grew up in Tijuana in Mexico. My grandmother was from Zacatecas, and my mother was born in Guadalajara. In my house, we always cooked things from scratch. My grandmother, my mother always cooked everything from scratch. My mother used to make more this kind of recipe right here, more with the butter or with the manteca, and then adding a little bit of baking powder sometimes. My grandmother did not, and so my grandma always said, growing up, her grandma didn't have any baking powder. Her mom didn't have any baking powder, so they made tortillas with no baking powder, just the manteca, and they use actual lard. So this recipe right here that I'm needing now, it's the one that has no baking powder. This is just water, salt, flour, and I use Crisco. I don't have any manteca. Listen, the fat content that you use for your tortillas really doesn't make a difference other than flavor. The texture of the tortillas is going to be very, very much the same. What's going to change the texture of the tortilla and the color of the tortilla is the baking powder, and you'll see that. I usually knead my dough for about 10 to 15 minutes. I like to work the dough really well, and if you know me and you watch my videos, you see that. And then we're going to cover the dough and we're going to let it rest. And we're going to let it rest, I recommend 45 minutes to an hour. The more you let it rest, the softer dough you're going to have. And you'll see the difference from when you just put it to rest from like after 45 minutes to an hour. It's soft, it's beautiful, it's amazing. So when I do our tostales, and our tostales are the little balls that I'm doing right here, and I do the size of mine are about 1/4 of a cup. I like my tortillas very thin. I don't like them super thick. And another question that I get asked a lot is, okay, I follow all the instructions, I follow all the ingredients, and when I cook the tortilla gets hard, like a tostada. Like, why? The main reason why your tortilla is going to get hard is because your griddle is not hot enough. Your griddle has to be hot. So your stove, you want it to be, whether it's gas or electric, you want it to be between medium high and high. It has to be hot. If it's too hot, bring it down a little. But the trick here is that your tortilla has to cook, once you put it in the griddle, it has to cook 10 seconds on one side. Then you flip it, not fully cooked, it's halfway cooked for those 10 seconds. You turn it around, you cook it 15 to 20 seconds to fully cook it on that side that you just flipped. And then go back to the first side to finish cooking the tortilla. When you go back to the first side, the tortilla starts then getting puffy. Like here, you see that tortilla? That's when it's finishing the cooking process. Your tortillas shouldn't cook for more than a minute. If you cook your tortillas for over a minute, it's two things. Either you're making gorditas and they're super thick, or you're going to get crackers. You're going to get tostadas, okay? So make sure that like I said, your griddle's hot, and I promise you the tortillas are going to stay soft. Now, this dough right here is the dough that I did not use any baking powder. You see how soft this is? Just because it rested for 45 minutes to an hour. Another thing, when you're making your tortillas, make sure that you put them, like you saw, I have them like on a kitchen towel. Just keep them in there. Keep one on top of the other in the kitchen towel. That moisture is going to allow them to continue to stay soft. They're going to cool down really nice. They're not going to get hard. I promise you, just follow all the steps that I'm telling you right now. If you want the link for my griddle, send me a message and I will send you the link as how to get this griddle. I had it for over 2 years and I love it. It's amazing. Now, like I said, these tortillas here are the ones that have no baking powder. I'm doing the exact same thing for both tortillas. The griddle's hot, 10 seconds on the first side. You see how it starts cooking. This side is a little hotter. Then you see all the freckles that it starts getting, but it's not fully cooked on the first side first. Turn it over. Now that side right there is fully cooked. Now I'm going to turn the other one over too, and then I'm going to let it finish cooking on this side. Sometimes the tortillas get super fluffy and super puffy and full of air bubbles. Sometimes they just don't, and that's okay. As long as they're soft like this, you are fine. Sometimes burst those bubbles because I pinch them with my fingers or whatnot. I don't use anything to flip my tortillas. I flip my tortillas with my hand. That's how I learned with my mom. If it's too hot for you, then make sure you use one of those, a palita. Not sure how you say those in English, but use one of those. So here are the tortillas, finished product, no baking powder, baking powder. You see the difference? No baking powder right here, soft and beautiful, baking powder. Baking powder, no baking powder, and you see the difference in both tortillas. The biggest difference that you're gonna see is the color. The tortillas with no baking powder, some people tend to say they're raw, they're not fully cooked. No, ma'am, they're fully cooked. No, I'm like, no, ma'am, no, they're fully cooked. They're perfectly cooked. You're gonna keep them once they cool down. Put them in Ziploc bags. That's how you're gonna keep them. They stay good for about a week or so. Look at the difference. That's it. Baking powder. This is what it does. I hope you guys try it. Do you use baking powder? Let me know in the comments. Bye.